Interesting video for you guys today. So I'm heading out to one of our dams or water reservoirs out here in West Auckland because I wanted to take some photos of it. We've had a bit of a drought situation going on lately, but we've had a whole pile of rain over the last week. So I wanted to go ahead and check it out, take another photo of it. But I mentioned in my comments on another video that I was going to make a video printing out some photos from my Sony in crop mode and in full frame mode, so you can see the difference in full prints when you're talking about megapixels and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't look very straight to me. Maybe I can put it here. I just finished up taking a couple of photos, one with my Fuji XT2. I'll explain later why I bought an XT2. I didn't technically buy one, but I now own a Fuji XT2. So I took a photo with the XT2 and the 16mm 1.4, so 24mm equivalent. I took a photo with my A7R III and my 24mm G Master. And I took a photo with my A7R III and a Tamron 17 to 28mm in crop mode at 17mm. So it's not quite 24mm, it'll be like, 26 or 27mm, I guess. But the main thing is we have an image at 42 megapixels, one at 24 megapixels out of the XT2, and one at 18 megapixels with the A7R III in crop mode. So now we're going to go back home and print some photos out. We're going to print one of each of them at A3+, so slightly bigger than A3. And have a look and see if we can see any differences in the quality of the prints or any pixelating or anything like that. I have no idea what to expect, to be honest. I've had prints at all kinds of different resolutions, but I've never compared them directly. So it's going to be interesting for me to see, and I hope it's interesting for you guys to see. But yeah, let's just get on with it and go and print some photos. Alright guys, here we go. So I've got all three images in the computer. Edited really quickly and just matched the colors and stuff like that. And then if we come over here, the printer I'm using is a Canon Pro 10S. A really nice printer. I've had it for a while now. And the paper we're going to use is the Ilford Gallery Smooth Pearl A3+. So 13 by 19, pretty decent size. I'll load it up, get it in the printer, and we'll have a look at how they all come out downstairs. I also took some shots with the Mavic Air 2, so I'll go over those in the review that's coming up soon. Alright guys, we're back in the studio downstairs. I had someone come down and write on the back of them which print is which with the pixels per inch, because they all have a different pixels per inch size, obviously with the physical print size. I had a quick look before I pressed record, and you have to really look up close to be able to tell the difference, sort of, I'd say a little less than half a meter close, and then you can kind of just start telling, probably even closer, to be able to tell the difference between them. I'm going to mix them up again. The details that I really noticed was if I put them like this, and this little blade of grass here on each one, when you're looking from about this distance, you can see the finer details look a little bit better. If you're, like I said, if you're about half a meter away, you can't tell at all. They all look fantastic, honestly. So in a real world situation, which is what I talk about a lot when I'm reviewing gear and stuff like that, real world situations is really what matters to me. Personally, if I'm having this print on my wall, am I going to be able to tell a difference? And I think if you have each of these in a frame, you're really not going to be able to tell once it's on your wall, unless you're looking really sort of this far away from it. But there is a difference. So if we line them up this way, yeah, see this one on the end does look a little bit stretched out in terms of actual print pixels. I don't even know if that's a word, print pixels. We just made that up. It does look fantastic, but I'm going to say that's either the Fuji or the crop mode A7R III. And then this one as well, I'm going to say really, really close. In terms of this one, I think this is definitely the best. So I'm going to call it, let me see. Yeah, I'm going to say this is the best one, this is the middle one, and this is the crop mode one. I'm saying crop mode because it's 18 megapixels, and this is the full APS-C sensor at 24 megapixels. And then I think this one is the 42 megapixel one. Yep, I was right. So this is the A7R III and the 24mm G Master, the full 42 megapixel one. And yeah, the middle one is 309 pixels per inch versus 410 pixels per inch. So 410 pixels per inch, 42 megapixels. Already forgotten, 309 pixels per inch, 24 megapixels. So this must be the Tamron, and the crop mode at 266 pixels per inch. So I was right, I can tell the difference. It's good to know my eyes are working really well as a professional photographer. I feel like I should be able to tell the difference. But I think if you were just showing someone in a frame, just normally showing them from a meter away, I think you're going to be pretty hard pressed to be able to tell the difference. It's really, like I said, when you're looking at sort of half a meter distance or closer, in the finer details, you can see a difference in terms of pixels per inch and just overall resolution. The overall difference definitely goes to the 42 megapixel one. The XT2 and the A7R III in crop mode are much closer apart, so I'm glad I did take the XT2 out and see them side by side so you can see the difference. But honestly, I would be more than happy delivering this, probably even larger, this crop mode one to a wedding client or anything like that. I can't see any issues with it at all. So here we have the 42 megapixel A7R III, and this one here is the 18 megapixel A7R III in APS-C mode or Super 35 mode. And like I said, if you have it down here side by side, it's really not a big difference, but you can see the difference when you're looking really closely at the finer details. When you're looking at the sky and this tree line along here, surprisingly, there's less of a difference, and I really can't notice it as much. It's really in those really fine details. These were all perfectly focused as well. I made sure I zoomed in manually and focused in the same spot with all of them. So yeah, very interesting. See, even now I've mixed them up again. Yeah, see, unless I look at this blade of grass here, it's really funny. This is the only thing that sort of gives it away for me. And maybe this grass area over here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that definitely 42 megapixels at an A3 plus print resolution, you can see the difference. If you're looking at anything less than that, the 24 and the 18 megapixel one, you really can't tell that much of a difference. And like I said, in a real world situation, each one of these looks fantastic, and once it's in a frame, you're really not going to notice the difference. Especially if you're doing something like a canvas print, it's going to be even harder to tell because of the texture of the paper or the canvas. It's going to be harder to tell, and I think if all of these were printed on canvas, I don't think I'd probably be able to tell the difference. Really nice to see that the Fuji matches up with a little bit of playing around in terms of color. But yeah, no complaints at all. Honestly, I would be really happy even with lesser megapixels. I did have a D700 when I started shooting weddings professionally, and that was a 12 megapixel camera. I delivered a few A3, A2 prints from that, and I was really loving it. So it does obviously come down to the quality of your lens, how sharp it is. So if you guys have been following my channel for a while, you would have seen a video quite a while ago talking about how I use my G Master 24mm in crop mode, and it effectively gives me a 35mm or about 37mm. So, it's effectively doubling my lenses. When I'm using a 24 and a 55, it means I've got about a 90mm and a roughly 35mm lenses just with the click of a button. And yeah, the print is fine for A3. I'd honestly be totally happy giving this to my clients. And really, I don't get a lot of clients printing larger than A3, probably A2 at the tops. With the odd client maybe doing a huge canvas or something, but it's really not that popular in terms of the weddings that I get anyway. So really fantastic to see. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video where I'm going to be reviewing my Mavic Air 2, going over some photos and showing you guys some video footage. So stay tuned for that. I'll see you in a couple of days.